What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out this 2025 Dodge Charger. This is an RT Stage 1 finished in the black diamond. So MSRP is $62,000. However, with dealer discounts, this one's actually going for around 50 grand. So the question is this a muscle car? Did Dodge do it right? Can you make an electric muscle car that is going to appeal to the buyers? So with that said, let's take a look at what is powering this. This isn't a fully electric car. Possibly we're going to see the twin turbo Hurricane engine, and then I've been seeing rumors about a V8 coming back, which personally, this needs a V8. Yes, the electric is cool. As an electric car goes, this is, I think, a cool vehicle, but personally, I mean, you just got to have a V8 in a car like this. With that said though, this thing's pretty sweet. We have a 100.5 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. The RT is going to have a 456 horsepower with 404 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive, weighing in at 5,700 pounds, got a 308 mile range, and 0 to 60 is going to be 4.7 seconds with a quarter mile time at 13.4. So the other one that we had, the Stage 2, it's going to have a trunk here. So this one just looks like you have a little cover. Now, one thing really cool with the design is this front spoiler. As you can tell, airflow goes right up through here, coming out, which is a really neat look. We have a nice set of LED headlights. I like the key fob with the carbon fiber on it, but pretty cool design overall. And then on the top of the line one, the Stage 2, this will all be a light bar going across. So this one's of course a little bit toned down versus the top line one. This is more of the base model. We have the parking sensors up above. You can see safety sensor opening for some cooling, and overall a nice front end. I think Dodge did do a stunning job on the style. I think it's a great looking Charger. Really looks like a new version of the previous generation Challenger. You're going to get that new Dodge logo up front as well, and then kind of that power dome design up on the hood there. So it's a good looking car overall. I like the style. On the side, you're going to get a set of 20-inch wheels with a really cool split 5-spoke. I like the overall like Y shapes to it. Got the RT Stage 1 badge, and then really sleek body lines throughout the side. Got your body colored door mirrors, and then an integrated set of door handles, all seamless windows with some sharp lines on that roof. For the side profile, it looks like a Mopar car. You can see a lot of the Challenger and Charger style to it. I feel like there's a combination of the old school like 70s cars as well as the previous gen, so it's kind of new and old looking. I think they did a stunning job. For the rear, you have a really nice LED taillight bar. You have that new Dodge logo right in the center that's going to light up nicely. And then we have all your parking sensors, a heat extraction vent, and then we have the Daytona name, as well as the Fratsonic system. This is a speaker system in the bumper, which you can actually listen to. So it's got a remote start as if it were a gas engine. And in person, that is quite loud. You can hear idling, and then shutting it off. So comment below, what do you think, V8 or electric with sounds? Maybe a little gimmicky, however, you know, if that's your sort of thing, it is a neat little touch. Definitely does add a character in an electric car that most do not have. So we're gonna see our backup camera, and then when you press this button, just pops the trunk, and then manually we can lift open this entire hatch. I like how it's a hatchback. It actually makes this insanely practical. The trunk is huge in here, as you can tell, so you can fit 2 golf bags, honestly maybe 4 golf bags even with the seats up. Down below we have some hidden storage space, a tire inflator, a little bit of some tow hooks. So cool design, and if you are tall enough, you can reach and put these seats down from back here. Now to take a look at the rear, we have our charge port as well on this side, super simple. And then for the interior, we can pull this back strap, and we do have power sliding seats to gain access into the back. Now from here we can easily pull these levers, and you can see just how much more space you're going to get with the seats folded down. So once again, ultra practical car. You can literally put a lot in here, which is a really cool touch. Closing that up, checking out the back seat space. They're going to fold nice and flat, as you can tell. And then this is a 3-person seat with an area in the center with your cup holders as well as the armrest. And then making my way into the interior, you can see the synthetic leather type material along with this cool fabric design with a texture. We have armrests and speakers, storage, air vents and plugs. And then even pulling this seat back to my height, I'm 5'11" sitting here, and I have good amount of headroom, and my knees and legs actually fit very well. probably one of the most roomy two-door cars out there, maybe a little bit bigger than a BMW 4 Series Coupe. And then as we make our way to the front, the door panel and interior is pretty cool in this car. I like the contrast stitching. You're gonna get this soft touch with all the red stitching, then this really cool trim throughout the doors insert. All of your controls, the electronic button to open it, we have a manual release right here, huge armrests and padding, and then a ton of storage all throughout the door panel. We're gonna see power controls on the seat, and then you have the smooth leather, and then once again the fabric all throughout it. There's contrast stitching all throughout these seats, and I love the design on the steering wheel. It's a flat bottom design. You got this cool square shape with the red stitching, perforated leather. And then with my foot on the brake, let's fire it up. So you got that cool growl to it. And then one thing pretty unique, if you go into sport mode, the idle is a little louder. And you can rev it up a little bit. Now luckily you can turn these all off and go under settings, electric drive, and you don't hear anything. So at least you can turn all that off if you're not a big fan of the fake sounds. For the steering wheel, we got the Dodge name. Of course, drive modes, power shot will give you some extra power for a little bit. Cruise controls on the right, controls on the left side for the center gauge cluster. Now in here, you can go through quite a lot. You can see some driver information, you can scroll over, see fuel economy, you have performance information, and I like how you can scroll up and down through all sorts of different pages. So you have quite a lot in the screen, which I like to see. And then you can just tap this icon and it will go into a more simple screen. There's paddle shifters on the left and right side, which is for the regen. You can see those three little bars changing. And then we have windshield wipers on the left side. We have the trunk button up front. I guess it's not a trunk in this trim level. Some headlight controls and then interior dimming. Some soft touch material with all this contrast stitching. And I kind of like how the dashboard wraps around. Really unique design. We got the Daytona badge up here, more of that cool texture, all this stitching and soft touch throughout the dash and doors. Really does come together. I love the interior on this car, honestly. I think they did a really good job. Home icon, we can get a configurable screen. You can add different widgets, mix and match. We have audio control that'll pop up, all of that. Climate control, you have a whole screen for it like you've seen on many other Dodge products. Of course, phone integration. And then under vehicle, we have a lot of settings. You have your camera settings. You can go into some of the sensors within the car. And then if you go under here, we're gonna get more information for driving. We have the power flow. You can view your range, all sorts of different settings for the battery system. And then under dashboard, we have our performance pages. So like to see that in any performance Dodge product. Got all that good stuff. And then under here, we can adjust your drive modes and things like that. And then if we go under controls, got a few more for those, and then back to settings as well. You have different apps in the car. You can adjust everything right there, and then of course a navigation system. Now with the climate, you do have shortcuts. So up here, you can easily go into your seats, steering wheel, and your overall temperature. We also have haptic feedback buttons down below that you can very easily make your adjustments to everything all the time. You also have shortcuts over here for the heated seats and steering wheel, and then volume control. We're gonna see climate vents right here with your hazards. Then we have plugs, a couple different buttons as well. More storage all throughout the center. And then for the shifter, has a neat design to it and a nice backup camera as well with all the parking sensors. You're gonna see electronic park and brake, some nice padding on the armrest with contrast stitching, and then a good amount of storage. Glove box on the right is lockable, nice amount of space. And then one last look at the interior. Again, this is a really big update from the previous gen Charger and Challenger. It's a pretty neat layout overall. I really do like it. All your dome lights up above, sunglass holder. We have garage door buttons and then a nice thin mirror. So setting off now in the Dodge Charger RT. As you can hear, there's a little bit of like a crackle on the soundtrack when I let off the throttle. Going into auto, those fake sounds get a lot quieter. You can still hear it, but it's a little bit more manageable. I do feel like in the sport mode, I mean, it definitely makes the car fast and crazy, but it's a little overbearing listening to these speakers, so may not be everyone's taste. I love though how you can turn it completely off and still get all the fun like performance to it. So driving this, kind of getting my bearings with the normal settings. So you have the 3 different regen braking. I kind of like it in the lowest one just to make it feel more like it coasts. visibility is all pretty good in this car. It's pretty easy to see around. The rear seat pillar is pretty big, so it's a little bulky on that right side, just like in the old Challenger. However, overall, this thing is really smooth and comfortable. The seats are nice and padded. They're pretty large seats too. You can get them into a really good position. Cruise control all works really good too. I like how the steering intervention is. It all does do a great job. It's automatically slowing down with this car in front of me, so I'll let it do its thing. I'm not even touching the brake, so it's slowing down, and then we'll see how well it accelerates and slowly getting back into speed. And again, I'm not doing anything. So cruise is all good. Same with the steering intervention. And then overall, just like ride quality, this is pretty comfortable and quiet. It's a nice car to drive. I think they really did do a good job just making this a nice place to be. I think it's a huge improvement over the previous generation cars as far as the interior and exterior goes. It's a nice car, and if you're looking for an electric car, you know, I'm not the biggest fan, and for a muscle car, you know, I want a V8 and I want a manual transmission. So for me, you know, obviously I'd like that configuration, but if you're into electric cars, this is a fun one. It's got character to it, to where you can kind of just drive it like a fun car. So I think they did do a really cool job giving fun in an electric car, which mainly electric cars just kind of miss that. It's pretty quick too. I wouldn't say it's insanely fast. Of course, though, you can get the Scat Pack version, which has a lot more power, and that one packs a pretty good punch. This is still, I mean, plenty quick, probably faster than most cars on the road, given you have that instant EV power. So, I don't know, from a driver's perspective, I think it's a great electric car. I think there's really no doubt about that. Everything works pretty good on the interior. Sometimes the screen will have a little bit of lag, but I feel like other than that, though, I mean, it's a good interior, it's comfortable, it's roomy, it's a useful car, and this one having the lower power levels is going to get a little bit better range than in the Stage 2 Scat Pack version. So it's a pretty economical electric car coming in around that 50 grand mark with the discounts. So, I don't know, comment below, what do you guys think? Is this something worth getting into with the pricing? And can you see getting an electric muscle car? Is this a real muscle car at the end of the day? I think it's going to come back to personal taste, and I've seen a lot of pushback on the new Charger EV for only being electric, and I agree with that. You know, I think if this had a V8, at least as an option, I think this is a great electric car. Like, keep this the way it is, but let's at least have a V8 as an option for all the Mopar guys and the muscle car fans. So I think they've done a great job for the car. It drives great. It is a fun electric car. Still want a V8, but if you're looking for a cool electric car that kind of sets you apart from the boring EVs out there, the new Dodge Charger is a fun electric car, and it's really enjoyable to drive.